it's time for a quick look at the markets, and we have some breaking news. The Empire Federal Reserve Index fell more than expected. It fell to 4.5. What was expected was 8, and last period was 12.5. We have Vic Reklaitis here of MarketWatch to discuss this with us. This is a regional manufacturing survey, and this fits into a lot of other things we've been seeing: slowing economic growth.
Right, a bit of a soft start to the year, and U.S. stock futures have been slightly higher before this came out. They pulled back. It looks like they're now slightly higher again. So overall, looking toward sort of a flattish open.
Flattish open. Overnight, we saw the Nikkei jump 3.1%. Really quite a rally.
Yeah, that's quite a move. It was Bank of Japan surprised the markets. It announced some additional stimulus measures, basically some increased incentives for bank lending.
Okay, and we're going to see a bit later in the morning, 10 a.m., we're going to see the National Association of Home Builders. We're expecting a reading of 56, which will be in line with the last period. We'll see what happens there. More on that later in the day. You're watching 3 stocks, and Actavis is the first, and they're gobbling up companies.
Right, they're buying up another drug company, Forest Labs, and both stocks are up sharply in pre-market action. Actavis more than 10%, Forest more than 30%. So the journal story about this deal talks about how this is a good sign for the M&A market, which hadn't been doing so well lately.
Okay, Coke
had earnings before the bell. A revenue missed expectations. It's down a little bit before the bell.
Okay, and Tesla, which is the rather controversial electric car company.
Yeah, and it's an interesting story that came out over the weekend in the San Francisco Chronicle about how Apple's M&A chief met with Tesla's CEO, and the story suggested basically maybe Apple was thinking last year when this meeting happened about buying Tesla, or at least thinking about some partnerships. So that's pretty different from the hardware and software business.
That is pretty different. That'll be in like an iCar, right? They rebranded the iCar. I like that. Now, later this week, we're going to have Fed Minutes, right? And that's always fun.
Right. That'll be on Wednesday. Another thing on Wednesday will be housing starts. A couple of the things we're looking for this week is some inflation data on Thursday, and also existing home sales on Friday.
Okay, great stuff. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Vic Reklaitis.